Hey everybody, I hope you are well today. Dan is going to be a couple minutes late. You can yell at him later. And you can work on thinking about your questions you might have for Dan and myself. This will be a fun way to... Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was rushing to get here because I had to grab Dan's chair. Hi, Esther. I hope you're well. Sorry, I'm all breathy. Here's Benj. Dan's just running a couple minutes late. Benj, are you going to get out of the way? What are you doing? Come here. Hello, little Frenchie, Big Texas. I hope you're well. Hello, Secure Acres, Natural Bees. So your name, Wes. And I can't remember your name, little Frenchie. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm so sorry. One day I will remember. Hopefully, everyone's names who's a regular here. Dan, he works from home, and so he is just doing a couple things left on his work thing, and he better be getting gussied up. He needs to put on a good face. Hello, Bruce Farmstead. Oh, Anne. Actually, I don't think I knew your name was Anne. And if I did, I completely forgot. And I'm so sorry. I'll try to remember that. And yes. Well, yeah, it's cool that your kitty's orange. And I think orange kitties are great. I never thought I would get like a gray stripy kitty, but when I met Benji, it was all over. You know how it goes when they pick you. I'm excited that Dan's going to be here someday. He promised, so he'll be here shortly. And now I'm all like worried, like I got all anxious because he's a little bit late. So I'm like sweating. What are you doing? Are you going to get out of the way? He doesn't know what he's doing. So, how have your guys' week been? And tell me something that happened to you this week that you're proud of. Let's talk about that while we wait for Dan. Oh my goodness, my eyeball is twitching. Ugh. No, you can't jump over there. So, I don't know if you guys saw, but I hit a really big milestone on the channel today, and I just have to say thank you so much for all of your support, and I never, ever would have thought that I would have gotten this far. Like, I never thought people would give a crap about what I put on my channel, and obviously, like, I wouldn't be able to meet these milestones without your guys' support, and I'm just like so happy I can get to know you. Ben went in the chair. I don't know where he went now. So happy to get to know you guys, and you've been so great and supportive, and I just can't believe it. Sometimes like people you've never met before are like way more supportive than people in your real life, and so like I'm so excited to share with you guys whatever more that I do this year on the farmstead and stuff like that. I feel all thrown off since he's here. So what have I been up to this week? Let's see. Oh golly. Oh, what did I do? Why was I thrown off? Okay, so I filmed on Monday, and I got my videos out a little bit later than I would have preferred this week. But it's because on Tuesday, we got our carport thing installed. So it's like a two-sided carport with a top, and that's where we're going to store our hay for the donkeys. And that was really exciting. Tuesday was such a busy day. I have my other live on Tuesday mornings, and then I had an appointment, and then the guys came and installed that carport, and it's so awesome. Unfortunately, that day, was very snowy and below 30 degrees and cold and windy. So I totally did not film anything. It was too cold to be out there for me. I felt so sorry for the installer guys. I brought them coffee and stuff, and they were pretty stoked about that. And I was happy to bring it to them because like we offer coffee to anyone who comes here, like, visitors or especially people who like are working on the property. We always offer coffee and people always say no. Like, what is with that? So I was like so excited. I was like, do you guys want some coffee? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, yes, I'm so excited to give you coffee. And then I had Bee Club. And so Tuesday was just really busy. And then Wednesday, I was just having a really hard time focusing on anything. So it was just busy, busy work with the channel and everything like that. And Dan just walked by and put his finger up. One moment, he says, he'll be back. And yeah. And, oh, that's so great. I think something happened and it didn't go through, but that's okay, little Frenchie. I'm so excited that you are going to try out the company because botanical interests are so cool. I just, like, I love their packets. They're, like, so nicely designed and stuff. That makes me happy. And, oh, did he? I need to go check it out. And I'm so sorry that I don't spend enough time on people's channels as I really want to. It's just... it's YouTube, like it's just a lot. So it's very cold here in Pennsylvania. So Bruce didn't get much accomplished, but yes, he did get an offer for a company's going to send him a long hive. And I'm excited to see what he does with that. Hey, Grogu, welcome. I'm glad you could finally make it. I moved it back so you could slide in.
Okay, well, I'll slide in then.
We slid it in the wrong way. Well, here's Dan. He decided to go the most difficult way.
Of course.
Well, we got to finish saying hi to everybody.
Okay.
So here's Margie. Hi, Margie. How are you today? Oh, and Bruce. So Bruce and little Frenchie, they both ordered seeds through Botanical Interest through my link. And hello, Rosie Side Farm. Make donkey videos. I mostly make the donkey videos as shorts right now because they are so hard to film. They are just all up in your stinking business. They want all the attention. Hi, Joy.
We should make more donkey videos. We have a bunch of toys to play with them.
You might have to project a little bit.
So we should make more donkey videos. We have some toys for them that
we do. Oh, we did buy them toys for Christmas, and I just totally never gave it to them. And okay, look. Okay, here we are. We're at the bottom. We said hi. I think if we missed you, please say hello again. And the
infamous husband.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to get him closer, but his chair has arms. And anyway, we totally gonked the table. And yeah, so because he's late, I didn't get to inform him of how, the proper way to talk to people or anything. So he's just going to have to struggle, I guess.
The struggle is real.
Yes, I like Botanical Interest too. Esther really likes your shirt.
Thank you. If I can't have a real beard, at least I can have one on my shirt.
I bought it for him. I think it was at Target. The infamous husband.
I'm here.
He's here. And we weren't really sure what to talk to you guys about today. Oh, hi, Hidden Spring Farm. Chad from Ontario. I'm assuming Ontario, Canada, because we have an Ontario, Oregon, actually, which is kind of funny. Ashley from Mulberry Branch Farm was informed that she was going to see a unicorn on this stream today. They're some of my favorite. If you guys haven't been to Mulberry Branch's farm channel. Like, you guys should. They're super funny and awesome. Oh, Joy loves Herman the snail.
It's pretty great.
Thanks, Joy. I like Herman too. I'm working on drawing up a t-shirt design with him in it, and I think it'll be fun. What interests we have in common? It's kind of not a lot, actually, except for, like our animals.
And
Like
rock music.
some rock music.
Yeah.
But we're really good at like, well, Dan doesn't have a lot of hobbies that he commits to right now. But, like I'm kind of like an art person, and he's totally like the nerdy computer guy. And I'm pretty nerdy too, but he's more like IT nerdy, like doing all the coding and stuff. And that's what he does here at home now.
Yep.
He's a database administrator.
Database reliability engineer.
Oh, excuse me. Database reliability engineer. And so he does that here at home. Lucky Leah. Oh, hi, Leah. How are you? I didn't know until I looked at your picture. I'm so glad it got like a little bigger. And here's Binge, of course, stealing the spotlight. Hi, Pete's little homestead. I hope you're well. What is Dan's favorite animal on the farm? If he can commit to what? I think he can, actually.
The ducks. All of them.
All of them? You can't pick just one? I know you have a favorite.
I do. It's the gray duck.
We call her Gray Duck.
Close second is Q-tip.
So we have 5 ducks, and we have 2 black Swedish. Well, they're all Swedish ducks, except for the Drake. He's a Cayuga, and we just got him last year. But we have 2 of the Swedish ducks are black, and then one is white with a Q-tip. We call her Q-tip, and then one is gray, and we call her Gray Duck because we're really original. And, the black ones are the Swedes. And
they're cheap entertainment is what they are.
Yeah, and they're pretty easy to care for as far as animals on the farm goes. Ducks are like really low key, messy and stinky though. Like if you're thinking about ducks, really consider like where you're gonna put them. Oh, look, Benj, don't step on the computer. He's gonna end the stream or something. Come here. He wants to be all. Some cool things about them is they're really easy to contain depending on the breed that you get, because our Swedish ducks, they're fat. They can't get over. I don't think they'd even actually try to get over like a 2-foot fence. Mm-hmm. They can catch some air if it's windy. That's about it. So that's your favorite. Gray Duck.
Gray Duck is my favorite.
Gray Duck is Dan's favorite. What about Sassy?
She's a classy lady.
Sassy is the donkey. One of the donkeys. The brown one.
Sassy's a classy lady.
Yeah. She is very classy. That's true. So everybody's saying, hi, Benj. Reliability is more important.
So true.
Gray Duck is an original name. She's great. It's Gray Duck. We'll always call her Gray Duck. And little Frenchie, her daughters name her ducks after fruits. That's great.
Fantastic.
So do your ducks eat fruits? Because our ducks kind of turn their noses up at fruits and vegetables, except for like lettuce.
The geese do. The ducks eat it pretty often. Sometimes they let it sit there for a couple days, and then they eat it.
Well, the geese are the picky ones?
Mm-hmm.
I forget. One of them are picky. And like, I think I saw we gave the geese a carrot or something, a cooked carrot, I think once. And you could see his displeasure. Bruce's uncle used to have a dog named Cat and a cat named Dog. I bet that was confusing.
I did embrace that confusion.
I had a dog. Well, did I have a name? Yeah, I did. A short little while, we named it DOG. That's original too. Ashley loves how Cats wants us either to look at their faces or their butts. And his butt kind of stinks lately. And I don't know what it is. It's just maybe he's just never been in my face that often. before since I started sitting at the desk, but I was like, geez Louise.
He looks really offended that you're broadcasting.
He did look at me right in the eyes when I said his butt kind of stinks. Wonderland Acres, Kate says hello. You know Kate?
Hi, Kate.
Oh, her ducks love watermelons, and their ducks, Hidden Springs Farms ducks, only eat peas. Oh, our ducks like peas too. So I wrote down, since you guys, I don't know, did you come prepared with questions, more questions? Ashley's on top of things. But I wrote down a couple things that I thought maybe you guys might be interested in learning about. You can tell me not so much. But I thought maybe, since Dan isn't really on my channel very often, what do you think about my YouTubing antics?
Your YouTubing antics. I support them. I try to stay out of your way.
He gets glared at a lot. Because I'm set up here in the living room, and it'll be funny because I'll be like ready to film, and it'll be noon, and then he comes out for lunch. And then he goes back into the room to eat lunch after he cooks it. And then 5 minutes later, when he's done, he comes back out. And I glare at him the whole time. So Leah is friends with me on Facebook, and she loves the quotes that I put up about us. And because we have some silly conversations sometimes. I'd say that's probably a really highlight of our marriage, probably.
Gotta have a sense of humor. Especially through 2020 and 2021.
Yeah. I mean, we've always been like that, though.
It's important.
You're off camera. Jeez, you can see where you are. So Esther had a duck named Peep when he was little and Quack when he got older. That works. I mean, male ducks don't really quack. I love how Donnie the Drake. See, Ashley gets it. How dare you come out of your room? So that's it. That's all you think about my YouTubing antics. Did you have any assumptions of things that would happen, or you didn't just think about it because you're empty?
I didn't think about it. I figured it's your show. I'll just go with the flow.
Okay, so that wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. So, Ashley, thanks, Ashley. Did you grow up with animals, or has it become an acquired lifestyle? This is a good one.
This is a good one. So when I was young, my grandparents had a farm, and that was pretty much all my pleasant childhood memories right there. So lifestyle design, try to get a little bit more of that into your life. So when we got out of the military and we were coming back to the States, we started looking for property with the intention of getting animals, since we're both animal lovers, and trying to have ourselves a little bit of a farm.
Yeah.
Anything else you think I should put on that one?
What was your favorite animal growing up?
Probably this goat my grandparents had that was a complete jerk.
I don't know the story.
No, you don't.
I've been married to this man for over 10 years. How is it that I don't know some stories?
They had a goat, and I mean, goats are usually pretty ornery, but this particular goat liked to try to climb on people while they were moving. And I don't know why, but it always cracked me up, even though you had to wrestle with the goat all the time. It's good times, and you never came back in the house not muddy.
Dan has experience with turkeys.
I do. When I was...
This is a good one.
Oh, so, yeah, my pet turkey that I named Dinner, and I don't remember the breed. It's just a big white turkey. And this
Probably
was
the broad-breasted.
In Colorado, and... in the winter time, and he hated beanie hats. So if you were wearing a beanie hat, he would jump up and grab it off your head and then go put it in his water bowl. Not great in, November, December, a couple feet of snow.
And drowned it, right?
Mm-hmm. He'd put it in his water bowl. Same turkey also liked to play tag.
Sounded like a jerk.
It was great.
Oh, look who's here. Our friend Melanie Mendez.
Nice.
Are you feeling all the way better, Melanie? I hope so. But she thinks all the Smiths have a great sense of humor.
We try. It's a pretty good family trait.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Your sister. I won't go there. Healthy Homestead Chick. Hi, Shelly. I hope you're well today. Have I seen the honey hives that have a spigot for the honey? Actually, yes, I have one. It's called a flow hive. And that's what really got me started beekeeping, which is a whole nother story of a video that I need to make someday. But yes, they're pretty cool, actually. If you can learn how to manage your bees well enough to get it to work well, and if there's a strong enough nectar flow, then it works excellently. It works as advertised. I think they're cool. You're just here to look pretty and make jokes.
Never been accused of looking pretty.
Well, thank you, Miss Margie. We're a cute couple.
Thank you.
We're old now compared to when we got married. Yes, the Flow Hive. Oh, hi, Silhouette Park Farm. This is my friends. They're in Australia.
Nice.
I sent them a sticker. It was awesome. Drive-by climbing.
From the goat, yeah.
Oh, Esther says, I bet it drove your mom nuts coming in muddy all the time.
I think my mom just had to get over it. I was not the sit at home and be clean kind of kid.
I'm pretty sure I remember stories of him jumping off buildings with a bike. Mm-hmm. I'm probably close to dying.
That's all called good fun when you're younger.
Kids don't really do that nowadays, do they? I'm pretty sure I did that too.
Probably breaking some laws somewhere at this point.
Probably not as extensively as Dan, or stupidly. Shelly thinks it's funny you named him Dinner.
I did.
But Annette is super busy this morning. That's fine. I'm glad you stopped in. Love a turkey with a hat hatred.
There was a lot of people who came to visit that were not very happy with that turkey.
Melanie is feeling better. Great. I'm so glad to hear it. And no, I said Dan was a terrible gamer. I don't know if that's the same thing. So what's your favorite video game?
Oh, probably something in the Elder Scrolls series or something like that. That's but good. I don't spend that much time playing games.
No time.
Usually when a new Elder Scrolls game comes out, I'll dedicate some time to it and buy a new console. And other than that, after about a month, I'm back to not playing games.
Just tell him about how you ask me to help you all the time.
I have to ask Adrienne to help me play games all the time.
What was the one that you asked me to beat? It was a boss or something, wasn't it?
I don't know. That's like almost every game. Unless it's Elder Scrolls or Diablo, then it's pretty much a done deal.
Can you imagine someone being really terrible at Mario?
No, amplify that by like 10 times more terrible. And that's me.
He's really you know the new it's not new anymore. It's actually probably like 15 years old. When the Mario came out with the Wii and you get in the bubble. Oh man. I think we almost fought during that because I was getting pissed off because he was so terrible. I was like, I can't play this with you anymore. Hi, Rodney. Rodney's a beekeeper.
Nice.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad it got to you. I was the first mail to their new P.O. box.
Nice.
That's awesome. So he's really terrible at video games. My favorite video game are Mario games, but not. Okay, so I like the Wii Mario, the one that they just started with when the Wii came out. I'm really behind on games. And I really like Super Mario and then regular Mario. So basically any of the Mario games that came out on the regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo because I'm old.
And the last game you spent any time playing was Pikmin.
Oh, and Pikmin. Pikmin is great. It's kind of puzzly. Maybe that's why I like it.
Maybe.
So did you think that I would get this far on YouTube? What did you think was going to be the outcome of YouTube?
Well, there's only one way to do new ventures, and that's to start. And when you're doing content generation, the trick is to just start producing some sort of content on a regular interval. As far as your success or the interest in the niche, that was hard to gauge, I guess. Probably mostly because all I listen to is nerd content.
It's true. Really annoying nerd content too.
And so I wasn't sure about that, but
cool. So, do you guys have any more questions for Dan? Ooh, Melanie likes Super Mario Galaxy and Diablo. Oh, Diablo's good, right? I played that,
you
right?
did. We team played that one.
I'm actually pretty good at that one too. Am I better than you? I might be better than you. There's one game I'm not better at, and Ashley guessed it once. It was that one with the horse.
Red Dead.
Red Dead, but like the older one.
Yeah, because I don't have a new console, because I won't spend money on it until there's a new Elder Scrolls game.
So that's fair. It was really funny because he handed me the controller and he was like, "Can you beat this one?" And I'm like, and I tried too, and I couldn't. I was like, I don't understand how to move it. For some reason, that stupid horse, man, this freaking horse. If you could make a video for the homesteading niche, what would it... Ashley, you are on top of these questions. Keep them coming. That is a good one.
What would I make if I was going to make a video for homesteading? Let me think about that.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's all you. She said Dan.
Maybe I would teach people how to make a duck house, or focus a lot on design, because that's probably where designing systems is where I'm probably the strongest at, so that they're less of a pain in your butt and easier to work with.
That's a good thing. Ashley just put out a video today about her property and how they made it more efficient. I'm sorry if I'm wording this wrong. About how they made it more efficient because her husband is sicky right now. And so she's doing a lot of stuff by herself. And that's something we also figured out. We have a routine, a circle, how we feed and water the animals. And so it's like a track kind of.
Yeah. So trying to make it so that you're optimizing your efficiency means that it's easier not only for you to do, but if you need somebody to watch the animals, it's easier to explain that to them. And then I think the next step we'll work on is adding more automation to some stuff so that it's less hands-on still. Not that we don't love the animals and stuff like that, but it's just
they really take care of themselves.
It's nice to have a little bit more freedom. And
I struggle with feeling stuck, and I would like to visit our family, more often, and travel a little bit, nothing super duper extensive, but being able to be gone for a week.
Once a year.
Or more, or whatever. And so we're trying to figure out some good automation, because we have the chickens and we have the ducks and the quail and the donkeys. That's it, right? And the ducks and the geese and
the rabbits and
the bunnies. That's true. Those are easy. We could take them someplace for someone to care for. The rabbits, anyway. We already have someone to care for Benji, our neighbor. She is in love with him, so we got that down. She's like, I will take care of him. But yeah, so I think that's really important. I should watch your video, Ash. It sounds really good too. She says, Red Dead. What is your favorite thing about me? He probably is annoyed with me lately.
No. What I really like about Adrienne is I'm very much more like the logic, process-driven person, and she's more of the artsy person. So she's a great contrast.
I remember also you complimenting me because I was a math major.
Yes, you were.
And I think that surprised you.
Hey, math is great. It's helpful. It's a universal language.
So we didn't have a lot of time to get to know each other before I got married.
Apparently we had enough time.
Enough time. Enough time to be like, well, we'll jump in or not do it. It was married or not,
But I think that good contrast helps make the marriage work.
Yeah, I think so too. We struggle, though, with communication. That's for sure.
I think that's everybody.
Well, I'm sure.
Except for Benjamin. He's great at communication.
I think something we could work on is just, trying to explain what we're saying better. I'm sure everybody could do that. So, ducks need a house?
Not everywhere, but
she has ducks.
Yeah, I don't think that they do everywhere. But
I guess it depends
for
what
predator
you're doing.
protection and stuff like that. We do have coyotes. That would be, and some owls are definitely big enough to take a duck off.
Our great horned owls out here are ginormous.
So we do. We basically round them up, and they're really easy to. I don't know what you call it, corral, like herd.
When they see us come outside, they start walking to their hut. So it's not hard at all. They're just like, okay, but they have to have us come outside, or else they don't go in until like 11.
So, but I mean, we just shut them up in a house, and then we have the house built. We call it the White House because it's very presidential. Basically, we have a bunch of. Well, we made it white.
I know, but I don't call it the White House.
We did.
I call it the duck hut.
Anyway, we line the whole bottom of it with plastic, so it's really easy to clean out since we all know birds poop. And a
lot. No, not just birds, but freaking ducks. They projectile poop. Like every time. Like it's not just direct out of their butt. It's out of their butt.
But yeah, we just grab like a square shovel and hose that thing out pretty quick with that. And
we used to take turns doing the ducks. And one day I was like, I really don't like doing this. I was at the point, I don't know why, but I really hated cleaning out the duck hut. And I told Dan, I was like, I would rather not have ducks than do this. And so then he started taking it on because he loves the ducks. And I think I like them fine. They're great, but I don't really even like their eggs. So I think they're cute. They're awfully cute.
And I love their eggs.
Esther wants you to do a video on a duck house, which actually might be in the works if we hatch a bunch of ducks and nobody wants to buy them. Because I just want to see baby ducklings again. We got them in 2017. So we haven't seen ducklings in a bajillion years. And we got Donnie the Drake, the Cayuga, last summer. And so we're hoping to hatch duck eggs this season. It'll be really exciting. Oh, hi, Patty. Patty lives in Portland.
Nice. And
track is a good way to put it. Yes. Melanie needs to build a dog house. Only wood free is pallets. Yep. Pallets are great.
Yeah, you could do it with pallets. It's not that hard. Our giant chicken coop is mostly pallets.
Except for the outside.
Well, the foundation and the wood we put on the outside. Yeah. Plywood.
Excuse me. Sorry. Uh-oh. Scrolled down too far. Okay. Oh, hey. Daryl. He's a beekeeper.
Nice.
He's one of my favorites. He's the one I fangirled over when he came into one of my lives like a dork. So he got my stickers. Yay! I'm glad. Dan is a database reliability engineer.
Yeah, so software side. Not doing any of the hard engineering stuff. Mostly just data systems.
He does a lot of coding. Right? That's right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I don't ask a lot of questions. I know he's in there on the computer doing things, often yelling, but I just let him. Ashley tries to travel during the end of the growth season. Goats can graze, and we use the flock blocks and have used deer feeders to give chickens feed every day and fill
waters.
You fill all the waters before you go. But you have family close by too, and they can check on them. We don't have anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's close to what I was thinking too. Your feeder for throwing some feed out for them, and then getting some sort of water that we can hook a float valve up to and just hook the hose up.
Yeah, because we'd have to get one of those auto doors for the chicken coop. The thing that's the hardest for us, I think, is the ducks, because they don't go in by themselves unless it's really dark out. And
Which
then
I had some ideas on too.
Yeah, we were thinking of making them just a run. That would be pretty easy. It
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be very big if we're not gone for
And then
very
we
long.
only have to close the door if it's really terrible outside. So that wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. Well, Margie, the flow hives do work. That sounds like it was a forgery one. What is it called when they're not real?
Fraudulent.
Fraudulent. I don't know. It was probably because they've never been on sale that cheap. They're actually very expensive.
Was that the hive or just the frames though?
If you let me finish. I was gonna say that you could buy just the frames and it's a little bit cheaper, but they're still like $300-400. They're still pretty expensive for just the frames because you can use regular equipment and modify a box to fit the frames, because the only difference between a flow hive and a regular Langstroth hive is the honey super. Period. That's the only difference. I mean, it's the same care, same equipment, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Ashley wants to call their duck house a quack den.
It's a great name.
What kind of produce can you grow down in your climate? Down. Anything
Forage.
that takes less than 90 days to mature.
Borage does really well here.
Borage isn't a produce.
Produces a leaf you can eat.
Yeah, nobody likes it besides you.
Small tomatoes.
Tomatoes. We can grow anything as long as we make sure the harvest day is within our growing season. Because it is harder, because we actually have we have huge temperature swings. So it will rarely stay above 60 degrees at nighttime, even in the summer. Am I right? I don't know, but it swings hardcore. And so tomatoes kind of have a hard time sometimes. But anything really.
Yeah, it's the high desert, so
it's hard. And then they just freeze. Will they still have a butt? Even if they don't have a sphincter. Ducks are great. Yes, we think they're hardy too, which is why I decided I wanted to breed them this year with the Cayuga, because I was like, they're 4 years old, 4+ years old. They're going on their 5th year, or soon to be 5. I don't know. Anyway, they're old for ducks, I think, and we'll probably have to work on replacing them.
I know they're tanks though. Once they have their feathers, they're little tanks.
They've never gotten sick or died. I mean, we started with 4, we're ending with 5. See you, Esther. Thanks for coming. Bearded Jobby. I was once a part of the best trio at your current employer.
All right. Well, I think I know who that is, Mr. Hurst.
Thanks for coming. Hidden Springs Farm is trying to train their ducks to go to bed when you shout Tulugin, which means go to bed in Filipino. Cool. I hope it works. I mean, they're pretty trained to start walking towards the hut when we come out. So
yeah, I used to always shout all ducks go to bed, and now and then kind of wave my arms and they'd start going, and now they just see me and they go. So it's no point, but it was a fun ritual for a while.
Potatoes.
We did grow some potatoes.
I grow some potatoes. I don't grow huge potatoes because I don't like the huge potatoes. I like red potatoes. That's about it. I'm picky. I'm sure that's something that drives Dan nuts. I'm picky. As heck.
One of us has to be.
I guess. Ben said that his dad grew beans on their farm and potatoes. They lived in Madras. Yeah, I mean, you can grow beans and yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you're at too.
Well, you could grow those anywhere here.
No, for sure. But they're the Madras city proper and going down towards Culver is a little bit different of a climate.
Better. Warmer. I mean, we're only 10 minutes out of town, but we are we higher? I think we're a little bit higher in elevation than Madras. And we also have, we're talking about microclimates in one of my videos lately. And so basically, Madras is warmer for multitude of reasons. One being there's a lot more houses, and they have more trees, I think, even for being populated. The commercials were cut in ads on YouTube channels, which made them seem real, but the price was too low. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you see something, let me know. I'll try to help you out if you need help in the future. What is Dan's favorite thing to do in his free time?
Interesting. So
I wish he'd actually do something.
Yeah, I try to not have a lot of free time. Now, I do like outdoorsy stuff, camping, hiking, shooting, fishing. Just haven't spent very much time on that lately. Also like playing guitar. Also haven't spent very much time on that in a while. It's a little frustrating. I have to kind of learn to replay some stuff since breaking fingers. Right now it's mostly work, thinking about work or farm stuff, trying to figure out what the next project is.
We really should have said, what is free time when you live on a farm? I have, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I have quite a bit of free time myself.
All of that time costs.
Until gardening season or whatever, and then I'm busy again. And bee season. Sorry.
That's right.
Hydrate. Dan's favorite pastime is work. Yeah, you should hear it on this end.
There's a great quote from an old movie, Bridge Over River Kwai, where they all go to an internment camp, and the guy leading the camp, I think he's a Japanese guy, says, "You will work hard and you will be happy with your work." It's good times.
Are you happy with your work?
Depends.
Sometimes. The work that you do complete. Because you're good at it.
Yes. Try to be.
Mark's ears perked up with shooting pew-pews.
As they should. So I think we missed something else up there. Which do you prefer?
Do we prefer chicken, pork? Or are you asking just Dan or both of us?
I think it's for both of us. Go for it.
What do you prefer?
Lamb. No, I like a variety.
The answer.
I like a variety.
But what do you prefer out of the three? Pick one.
Depends on how it's being cooked.
What do you prefer out of the three? Pick one.
Gosh. Beef.
I like pork, I think. I think I like pork best. I like chicken, though, too. We haven't had a lot of chicken lately. So I've been craving chicken.
We just made a big pot full of chickens.
Yeah, but that was like the first time in a really long time. They like you. He's never coming on my channel again. No, I'm just kidding. You're not supposed to like him.
I'm a boring guy. What
genre of music? I'm assuming for your guitar playing.
Oh, all kinds. So I don't know.
It's not really something he's really done in the last 10 years.
I've been, played lots of different types. I don't know. Just depends on the day. Probably right now, I think I'm going to retune the guitar my dad gave me last year that I haven't done much with, and probably just play Irish folk music on it. So it'll be fun.
So Ben just sitting here on the table with us. He really likes the desk. It's so weird. So, do you want to talk about our first swarm catch?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
So, get on camera.
I'm on camera.
So, in 2019, I got our first swarm call, and it was kind of late at night. It was probably about 7 p.m. And I was like, well, do I get it now or do I get it later? And I was just too excited. And so I got all the information from the person. It was a town about 20 minutes away we had to go to. And I was like, Dan, I want to do this. And he's like, well, okay. And we had to get stuff together. So the guy was like, oh, it's not very tall up in the tree. What did he say, like 15 feet?
Yeah, he was
or something.
A little bit.
He was quite underestimating. And so anyway, we bring our ladder and we bring the truck and all the things I heard that you're supposed to bring with you on your swarm catch, because this is, my first time. And so I'm excited. So we go into Prineville, and it's probably, 7:45, 8 p.m. at that time. And it's in the summer, so it wasn't like quite going to get dark yet. And so this guy is plastered, the guy at the house who called in. And I tell him, we're going to do this and this and this. It would be great if we were allowed to, cut the branch if we need to. Just trying to just try to, if we need to, try to get those things where his expectations are on par with what may or may not happen, because I had no idea what the heck was going to happen. And so it's in a tree. Did I say that? So the swarm is in a tree about 15 feet up. And we get there, it was probably more like 20, 25.
Yeah, it was close to that.
Which is really, really high. And so we're like, okay, so we had a game plan because we knew it was in a tree before we got there. And Dan's like, you're not climbing the tree. And I was like, well, okay. And he's like, I'm going to climb the tree. He had this plan. We're going to, wrap the rope around the branch, and I'm going to cut the branch, and we're going to lower the branch. And we had everything lined out. We were, prepared, and, excuse me. And so I'm telling this guy, and I was like, it'd be great if you could, step back. I don't know what the bees are going to do. Typically swarms are non-aggressive, but, stuff happens. And so we told him and the kids, there's a bunch of kids around. Can you go away? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
It's exciting for them. Somebody's going to go and mess with bees.
It was exciting for them. Okay, so Dan puts on his jacket, which we had just bought for him, and he climbs up this tree. And
I don't think so. I think I put the jacket on and took it promptly off and said, there's no way I can climb a tree in this.
I thought you climbed it with it. Whatever. Something happened. And so he's up in this tree, and he's like, I'm going to cut the branch that they're on. And this is a huge swarm. It was probably like that long. Does that look right? Yeah. It was probably that long. And because they were like really clumped up. It was huge. It was the first swarm I saw. But he's like, I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to tie the string or the rope to it, and we're going to lower it down. And I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there watching from below. I can't do anything. And
yeah, it was like one of those residential trees too, like a poplar. So it's not like you could get up there very high without good equipment or anything like that. There's no way to displace the weight. So I was trying to cut corners. So I cut the branch, and I've got the rope on it, and I've got the thing. And of course, it just doesn't even tip all the way out. It just gets hung up, right?
Well, what it does, what really happened was he cut, and then there was this little part that was still attached to the branch. And the branch goes.
That's how you control. So
And so anyway, the branch with 3 pounds of bees on it or whatever comes down, swinging.
How it was supposed to go.
No, it's not. And so then they go, all the bees fling off the freaking branch back about 25 feet. And we're like looking at this huge line of bees. We're like, what the heck, and because I had the box set up, I had the sheet on the ground, because that's what people said they used, because I'd never done it before. I had the sheet on the ground, and we were trying to make sure they all got there. That didn't happen. Okay, so we go, and we're like, Dan comes down of the tree. He yells while he's getting down out of the tree because a bee stings him.
Oh, yeah. So I'm up in the tree. All the bees they're everywhere.
Everywhere. They're flying.
I think most people would have probably freaked out. And I was fine up in the tree. No bees messing with me. I mean, they're flying around, sometimes bouncing off my head or whatever. Not until I get on the ground. And apparently I put my foot right where somebody else had stepped on a bee, and I get stung almost instantly.
Your story's different than mine.
Okay.
So he got stung behind the ear as he was climbing down the tree. And
that's when I was on the ground.
This is supposed to be funny. You're not supposed to correct everything.
Okay.
So, and then he decides to put on the jacket again.
That I'd never put on before.
That he'd never put on before because he's too macho and he won't listen to anything I say. And I have to just be like, okay, well, you know, if you get stung, that's on you. He doesn't zip the hood. And that's somehow how he got stung behind the ear somewhere, someday. So anyway, he got stung. I've never been stung. He's been stung. I've not been. And I mess with the bees all the time. In any case, so he puts on the jacket and he probably hiked up the sleeves. And he gets stung here too. On the inside of your wrist. Maybe that's where I got
stung when I got down.
You were stung in the tree as well.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, you were, Dan.
Fine. Doesn't matter.
Just because you don't remember, you probably didn't feel it until later. But you were stung in the tree. But anyway, you're making this hard. So when the bees flew back, they clumped on the ladder, they clumped on the ground, and they started going into this manhole. One of the little ones with the lid like this, and they have a little tiny opening like this. So I have about 12 clumps of bees in various areas, and I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with all these bees? I don't even know what I'm doing. I like kind of wanted to cry. And so then this guy who's plastered, right? He comes up to Dan. He's asking Dan all the questions, and I was like, dude, I'm the beekeeper. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And he ignores me and continues to speak with Dan. And Dan's like,
I don't know what I'm talking about. Ask me about a tree. I know a lot about trees and how to make proper cuts.
and so he just keeps asking Dan questions. And I'm like, can you go inside? Because I'm the beekeeper. Dad doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm, the foreman in this situation guy, And so, okay, so the bees are going in clumps, and we work on getting the clumps in the grass, and we see that they're like, I didn't know if I had the queen or not, because like somewhere on the sheet and somewhere, various locations, because it, bees. And so that little drain thing, what is it? Manhole thing. And it had the little controls to the sprinklers or whatever in it. And the bees are going in. I was like, oh my gosh, what if the queen is in there? Because they usually follow the queen. And we had to ask this stupid drunk guy to get something to open this cover. Because we didn't have anything. Because that's not was like in our purview of being necessary. And so he gets this thing and we open it and there's like a clump of bees like this in there. And we're like, I'm just kind of freaking out. I'm getting things done, but I'm kind of freaking out. Like getting these bees.
Taking a little longer than anticipated.
Way longer than anticipated. This should not have taken this long. So now it's creeping on almost 9:00 and it's starting to get dark. And we're getting these bees out of this hole. The drunk guy's being drunk. And we're just like, what on earth is happening? And so we get the bees out of the hole. And what I brought, because I said it was such a large swarm, I didn't have any bee equipment to bring that would fit them. So I brought a huge box, like a cardboard box. Actually, that worked great. That worked perfectly. And so you can catch swarms in anything, anything that closes and you can travel with. And so finally, we get all the bees onto like the sheet area and we're watching them crawl into the box. And that's when okay, I have the queen, typically. And it's so cool to watch them march towards the queen. Like it's like such like one of those inside warm fuzzy feelings that is hard to explain. You're like, oh, that feels so cool. It's so cool. And
we finished in the dark. We had to
we did finish in the dark.
What did we take? Did we have the truck at the time? Did we?
We did.
So we had to put the headlights on the area.
Yeah, we had to use the headlights to finish up. So I'm like, I'm getting impatient. And people always said to use, a sheet underneath the thing. And that is a bad idea, guys, because bee feet are very clingy. Like they don't let go of the sheet fibers. And so I'm like trying to shake them into this box and I give up and I just stuff it in the box. And they were fine. But so I stuffed it in the box. And I'm like, we gotta go. It's freaking dark out. And so we bring it home and everything, and I'm just like, they once went back too.
Yeah, I had to go back up in the tree and shake them all out.
In the middle of that, and I'm sorry, I forgot because it's been a couple of years now. But a big, huge clump went back into the tree. So Dan, that's probably when you got stung in the tree.
Maybe.
Because we forgot. And
not my first rodeo.
They went back, so he had to shake them again. And anyway, it was so overwhelming because I'd never done it. I thought it was going to be way easier than that because Dan had all these plans of how everything was supposed to go. And, of course, everything goes wrong. And it was so embarrassing for me. I was really upset because I really thought it was going to go different and I didn't know what to expect. But it was pretty funny overall. And that colony is still kicking. New queen now. They requeened in the fall. But they're my favorite colony, actually.
Well, with swarms, it's like everyone's different. I mean, at least you didn't have to take half the guy's wall off or something.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That requires, building knowledge and stuff. But yeah, so that was our swarm story.
And the next ones, I don't think I was with you for.
No, you weren't. But that was usually funnier when we don't tell it together. Apparently.
Yeah, Lombardy poplar, the kind that smell like cardboard.
Branch slivers, yes. Well, I made them leave just because I didn't want to be because we were in the neighborhood and I didn't want to be responsible for the kids getting stung or something. I was like, you need to leave. Because the bees, once we shook them, they were everywhere. They were flying, they were on the ground. Right. We can't play fetch right now. So this is Benji's poof, little white poof. It used to be a ball, and he plays fetch with this. Benj. And so I was like, you guys need to go. You need to go at least a few houses down or something. But it was very stressful having people watch me, especially when I didn't know what the heck I was doing because I had to pretend I knew what I was doing.
Right. And you can't tell bees, hey, listen, don't sting the kids, please.
But it was a successful catch overall, I think. And so that's good. And they're a good colony in general. It just took longer. So the next morning I was able to, because I kept them in the box because it was dark and I was like, I'm not doing that. So I just made sure they were in a safe spot, where they'd be out of the sun when the sun came up. And I just I took them, I took out the sheet and I dumped them in and they're just good bees. They're not mean or anything, but I haven't been stung. But every time Dan helps me, almost every time he gets stung.
Maybe I should learn how to use the equipment. Or maybe I just like having something to complain about.
I think it was Ben Vincent at VW Family Farm saying his captured swarms were his favorite. So far, they're my favorite too. So I have two colonies that were originally swarm catches. My favorite is honeysuckle, and that's the one I had so much problems with this last season. And then the other one is rose, and they're just okay. So basically, none of my bees are aggressive, but rose is slightly more aggressive than the honeysuckle colony, where I mean that they're just getting in my business more often and telling me to get the heck out of their house, which is fair. But yeah, so it was fun. Hello, Stidham family gospel. Oops. Hi, Monty's in motion. They're in Depot Bay.
Nice.
Despite the drunk and lack of experience, it sounds like you guys did great. Yeah, we did okay.
We got the bees.
We got the bees, and
We
they're
didn't
still
damage
alive. And so that's good. I mean, it was really annoying that he kept asking, because he kept asking Dan questions, and Dan's like, I don't know, ask Adrienne. And he wouldn't. So that was annoying. But we're just like, you just need to go inside.
No guarantees about these bees in there, if they'll sting you or not.
Yeah. Hi, Robert. So Ashley likes her swarm bees too.
Nice.
But Dan doesn't do the beekeeping.
No, Dan does help with move heavy things, lift up blocks, take things out there, mow trails to the hives. I don't pretend to be a beekeeper and know a darn thing about it. I have not made that investment.
I made a lot of investment. And beekeeping is pretty great, though. Yeah, we got a pretty good story. We should have coordinated it better, though. We haven't told a story together in a long time.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. But it's so funny that he gets stung, though. Like, I don't ask for help very often, right?
I have not gotten stung more times than I've gotten stung, but
I haven't asked for help very often.
No.
Because I tried to make sure that my hives, I could be relatively independent. It just so happened that the first year I also had to get an appendectomy. And so he then had to help me more towards the end of that season. And then I think, at the beginning of last year, I hurt my back really bad. So he had to help me at the beginning of the 2020 season.
And there was a time I picked up your nuke for you and drove it back.
Oh, and then my first nucleus colony was on the same day as, or picking it up was on the same day as our last class for the Oregon apprentice beekeeping class thing. And so Dan picked that up for me. That was nice. We went at the same time. And that was a bad day, though. That was a bad day. But yeah, bees are great. And it's nice that Dan, so what I was going to say is I tried to make sure that the stuff I could do by myself. So I mostly have 8-frame boxes instead of the 10-frame boxes. And I try to stick with the medium so that they're lighter. And because Dan's working. And he doesn't have all the time in the world to come help me when I need it.
Got the whole world fooled. They think I'm doing stuff.
Patty thinks you like me a little bit. Sometimes.
Sure hope so.
We sometimes wonder.
Somebody's making pinto beans. Nice.
Oh, it's all right, Benj. Robert's making Mexican pinto beans. Where is Emma? I can't believe she is not here. Ashley was amazed at how heavy those deeps could be when they're full of honey. Mama didn't raise no wimp, but dang. Don't fail me now, we're back. Yeah, and don't hurt your back at the beginning of the season. I think I was out of lifting stuff for 2 months or something, and that was a pain because what happened was I was bringing plants in and out during the beginning of the spring while they were hardening off, and I just it was all poof, and then I was done. I could hardly stand up. So that was awful. I don't know where she is. I'm disappointed, but that's okay. People have lives.
Which people?
Emma, apparently.
Good for Emma.
Good for Emma. But yeah. So one thing that Dan kind of jokes about is how to take care of a semi-famous YouTuber. And I'm not semi-famous, but we joke about it. And we think it's funny.
It's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. I mean, do you know how hard it is to find a specific color of M&Ms and have them mail ordered from France?
What? You've not done that. And I don't really like M&Ms. That would be a fail. But he did do a good job that one live when he came home during it. Look, everybody left. They don't like you. He came home during a live, and I was like, "Where's my chocolate? I wanted it chocolate," and he brought chocolate. That was good without being prompted. It only took 10 years, but
Patience.
I was pleased. Chocolate's always good. But yeah. So, do you guys have any more questions for Dan? Is there anything you want to talk about, Dan?
What's everybody else's plans for 2021 on their farms or homesteads?
Yeah. Chocolate does solve a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's necessary in my world, chocolate. Probably too necessary, really.
What are your plans for this 2021 coming up?
Me?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know, just general on the property.
Well, I've already talked about it with them.
You talked about building new garden beds.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about building a new aviary area for the quails.
You didn't watch my video.
I did not.
He didn't watch my video.
I'm terrible.
But yeah, we're going to make new garden beds and hopefully a new quail aviary. And I mean, nothing like super duper exciting.
So Mulberry asked if I could add anything to the homestead, what would it be? Probably a wind
water
break.
rights.
Water rights or a wind break, right? The ability to irrigate more or block some of the wind. I mean, not complaining. We have a surplus of sun and wind. I just need to figure out how to turn that into energy we can use or something.
Yeah, I would be cool if we did have wind power. I think wind power and sun power would be really like perfect for here because we have a lot of both.
Yeah, I think having, like we've talked about before too, some trees just to cut down on the winds every once in a while would be good too. The
problem is how we're going to water them because we get less, like I think even this last year, we got way less than 10 inches of precipitation. Like, how are we going to water these stinking trees? We haven't quite figured that out yet.
Yeah, I have some thoughts in my head, but
we've had thoughts for years.
Some giant like network of PVC going from where the hose can reach, so you can put water on one spot, and maybe if it's all level, it'll work.
Maybe. Well, you know that faucet over there has really good pressure, so it'll probably work out okay.
Yeah, the new one we had added.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about barbecue.
When I hit 10 subs, I invited all my subscribers to barbecue. They all showed up since they were related to me. Well, that's nice.
No, that's awesome. Who complains about barbecue? No friend of mine, anyway.
Oh, no, Bettina. We're still here. Only for a little while longer. We've been on for an hour now. Mark watches her videos right in front of her, and she runs away. That's probably why she watches them.
I try to keep up. Maybe I should try harder. I'm definitely supportive, but yeah, sometimes depending on what's going on with work and stuff like that, then it gets a little bit.
I think he watches them but doesn't listen because he's busy working.
No, it would be the other way around. I would listen but not watch, usually.
Look, we have a little Komoda.
Nice.
Hi. Which one? Which? So the Komodas are our army family. So one of the children are saying hello. And yeah, so we don't really have a lot more to add, do we? Mia. Hi, Miss Mia. I hope you're well.
Nice. Hi, Mia. So.
Oh, Daryl bets you had over 10 inches of. Well, you probably get a lot more rain in North Carolina than here because we're in the desert. So it's really hard to keep things watered.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, there's definitely like techniques and stuff like that we haven't implemented fully yet, but
it's hard. There's always more stuff to do on the farm, you know, like Then you have to decide like what your priorities are.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Yeah. And then figuring out like even things that you think are going to work, sometimes you have to adjust them, right? So like we thought we'd be able to just garden in the ground out here, and pretty much everything just gets eaten. So that's not really doable.
Yeah, we have a huge issue with there's things called ground squirrels, and they're kind of like, well, people call them sage rats out here, but they are a ground squirrel. That's their proper name. And they are kind of like little prairie dogs. They look exactly like prairie dogs, but they're only like this big. And so they make a ton of holes. And then we have a huge problem with gophers. I caught 21 gophers last year. And the war is on because they killed one of my baby apple trees. And so, yeah. Can we get water from a river? No, Oregon is very hardcore. There's something called water rights, and you can't take from the natural sources.
You're not even allowed to collect your own water. You
Yes,
can
you
off
can.
the roof, but you can't on your property. Like you can't just go put a pond in.
And so no, we couldn't just go get it from a river. And there's not a river anywhere near us either.
And, well, not super close. I mean, they used to have irrigation that ran not too far away from our property, but it's been off for quite some time.
Yeah, like the one back there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. There was, yeah. It's been off for a long time. They might have originally had water rights. No, because there would have been another well.
That would have been coming down from the Crooked River over there.
But yeah. So our closest water that's a lake. That's a reservoir. We have a reservoir and then a man-made spring, I think.
I don't know if it's man-made or not.
Well, they expanded it or something. Yeah. But there's no river close to us.
Yeah, there's a few springs and stuff like that, but you're pretty much on well and a pump of some kind to get the water out.
Our well water is so good. It tastes awesome. Like we don't have to like clean it or anything, filter it. It is good. But yeah, it is really hardcore. The water rights situation. And it's funny because it's like not very many states, I think, have a water rights situation. And so most people are like, what the heck is that? So yeah, you have to like, if you want to put in a pond or whatever, you have to get a permit and stuff. And apparently it's like difficult.
If it pleases the crown, then you can do it, I guess. But no, I mean, ideally we would love to, we have a little bit of a slope to the property. It'd be great to go to the high point and put in a pond and then have like a little bit of a system of like, I don't know, swale-ish kind of thing, and then a lower pond, and then pump the water back up to the upper pond just for fire prevention. But
that's not going to happen. Fire is a scary big deal out here in the high desert.
I'm going to teach them well, maybe. I also thought about, if I just dig the holes and don't tell anybody and then have some truck come in and load it with water and fish, then I could say, hey, it's not against the law for me to dig holes, so I don't understand what the problem is here. I don't know how the water got there. I don't think that'll work, though.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Sorry.
The desert is just pretty hardcore as far as climate. Oh, the fire danger. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that's why we got the donkeys. Is what they do is they eat way more native things than horses or goats do. So they actually eat the sagebrush and they eat the junipers and they eat the rabbit brush and stuff. And the native grasses. So they keep it down, and their 5-acre pasture right now is down to the dirt, which is great actually, because we have no fire danger from that direction. We need to get them on the other 9 acres. We will someday, but right now we're pretty fortified from the fires, because we had in 2018 there was a wildfire that was it 15,000 acres or something, and it was about a mile from our house, and we didn't get evacuated. The wildfire people are so good. They're so good at their jobs, and they know how to, navigate the fire. And then in August of 2020, a fire almost did start, and they got it out. Not very far away, not even a mile away. That was from lightning, because we had a huge lightning storm coming in August, the hottest time of the year, and it went all through, the Cascades, and that's how a lot of the big fires started in the Cascades, and then through here, and fires started, like hundreds of fires started out here. It was crazy. Overrun with rodents. Yeah, we have those. We have pack rats, and we have mice. It's a lot. Do we plan on staying in this area? I don't really want to anymore.
It depends.
I mean, there's good reasons to stay here as far as being away from people.
Right. And the scenic beauty.
And it's very beautiful. Like, I think a dream would be to be able to keep this property and rent it or something.
And put a different house here or something.
No. And also have a property someplace else. Because it's hard to want to give up this property because it's so beautiful.
Right. And like one of the nice things about our property is we're basically in the middle of a national grasslands. So we look out our back door, there is no other houses. Nobody can build back there or anything like that. And our one neighbor across the way is great.
Awesome.
Good people. We love them. So
bye, Daryl. Thanks for coming. But yeah, so I kind of would just, we're not getting younger, and the cold is hurting us more. And I don't want Dan working too hard on trying to provide like heat for us if something happened, and he has a injured arm from the military, and so he hurts all the time, and things aren't set up very well here. The house will have to be replaced at some point.
Yeah, it's not oriented either the way I would have done it.
And so, I mean, to be honest, I really like Central Oregon from spring to fall. I love the dry weather. I did like the heat before I got chunkier, I think. Now it's hard to handle. But I think maybe as you get older, it's a little bit harder to handle anyway. But I think I'd like a little bit more moderate climate to be able to do more gardening. I'd love a longer growing season because as it stands, it's only 80 to 90 days here.
And we can extend it a little bit, but
it's, I mean, once our freezes start, like it's a hard freeze. It's not like a gradual, like we'll stay in the low 30s. It's 25 degrees or 22 degrees once it starts freezing. So it's just.
Right. Which means you have to do like
heating.
The standard greenhouse is way too hot in the day unless you have massive fans in there and way too cold at night. So you have to.
A lot of people make the greenhouses work though.
Yeah, you have to create like some sort of heat sink battery kind of thing to maintain the heat in there. Somebody said something about horses and
they're more careful around the groundhog holes. Well, we don't have groundhogs at our location, but we do have badgers, and they do make giant holes. And donkeys are smarter than horses. This is not just coming from me, but coming from a lot of people say that donkeys are just more careful because they are desert critters. So they're used to all the desert, they evolve with the desert critters. Where was I going? They know the ecosystems, and they're very aware. Like, did you know, and I don't know if this is true with horses, but donkeys can almost see 360. Like, I think they can see like 340, and they just can't see their butt. Like, just when they're staring frontwards, which is insane because like the donkeys will be staring, directly away from the house, and I'll walk to the sliding glass door and they'll look. I'm like, how did you know I was here? But it's because I can see. It's crazy. Bruce, you're going to have to go back and listen because we told our first storm catch story. And I was wondering where you were. It's true. The water, well, we do have a well. So, and it's fine. We have to be considerate of what animals we bring on the property, because we, like, at first Dan kind of wanted to do like cows and stuff, but then we realized we're not going to be able to, regrow the grass as often as we need to. So then we'll really have to be feeding them a lot of hay, and hay's not getting cheaper.
No, it'd be a lot of infrastructure because we need to put in a second well, and then we need to think really closely about how we were doing rotational grazing and being able to get water out to all those spots wherever they'd be. So for now, that's on the
can't really do here thing, and it's a little bit unfortunate without the water. And a lot of people make it work out here with water systems, and we make it work for what we want to do for now, without, because we don't need it for obviously the donkeys need their trough of water, but we don't have to water their grass. They like dried grass, and we feed them the hay, but they eat considerably less than horses. So it is what it is. And we probably won't get any more like large animals, because the donkeys are going to eat that 9 acres in one season. So maybe a season and a half.
Yeah.
Not here anyway. I don't know. Well, thanks for coming, Ashley, Dan the unicorn. And good talking with you too, my friend Ashley. And thinking a greenhouse would be good as it creates a more humid environment. You can roll up the sides with critter fence and protect your plants.
Yeah, it's on the
to-do, but it would really, for me, it would really have to be automated. I'm not good at remembering stuff. And recently we've kind of discovered why. I've recently been diagnosed with adult ADHD. But it would have to be super automated. Like, there's some really nice greenhouses we could get that are wooden, made locally, and they have like automatic opening tops and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd have to go that route.
Probably need a fan in there too, because we did get like one of those cheap plastic greenhouses, and we tried that, and we ended up cooking a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I totally, like, it was just a 60-degree day. All the windows are open. Windows.
But that was even in the less sunlight area than where we are now.
And it got like 120 degrees in there, and everything melted. But it's I'm not good at getting up like super early to do like stuff like that. I can get up at 6:30 and putz around the house, but I'm not able to like go out and like do outside stuff. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just not very reliable in that aspect. Like, I think the laundry's been in the dryer for a week and a half. So, so for me, it needs to be really automated, and we're trying to make things more automated. We choose not to do a lot of stuff because maybe we'd rather do nothing sometimes. And it's hard. It's hard to figure out what to get done and when to relax and not be a grumpy jerk face, because I get grumpy. Benjamin, the cat. But greenhouses are great. They're I think they're a little bit hard to work out here just from watching other people. But even with a greenhouse, when it gets 20 degrees, unless it's heated, it's hard.
Yeah, you got to do like that ground sink thing with where you use
heat sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And that doesn't always work. They're a huge investment for what I need, for me not knowing if it's going to work out for me or not.
Yeah, I think the deal with greenhouses is when it's sunny outside, then it's hotter unless you have good ventilation than the ambient temperature. And when the temperature goes to zero, unless you have good insulation, your temperature inside is basically zero. So,
but Jen makes it work.
I'm sure.
But she also lives right by the irrigation ditch, and it's always a little bit warmer there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They are what we need. Yeah, they're definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. And so that's why I haven't gone that route. So we usually start our season indoors. We have a a shelf system that we purchased last year, and we're kind of doing the Kratky hydroponic type system, the lazy way with no electricity, and that worked out okay.
Yeah,
we did that last year. We kind of put it on hold because my mom came to stay when the Cascades were on fire, and then kind of like everything went down the hole.
But it's super easy system. You can grow a lot of vegetables in there.
Mostly greens.
Yeah, you're not growing carrots and stuff like that, but it works out pretty well.
But I do want to try this year in it because I got these miniature tomato plants. Like miniature. I think we could do it in that, and I think it would be awesome. So Patty wants to know, where would we move if we did relocate? We would have to go see. And that's another reason why we want to see if we can automate the animals more. We'll either have to get rid of some in order to travel and experience places. I've never been outside of Oregon as an adult, except for, other countries. Like I haven't visited around in the US.
Right.
So I don't know what anywhere's like. I do know there's a lot of places that sound scary, and there's places that sound like I wouldn't fit in very well. I'm afraid of the wind. That's a big thing. And I think that stemmed from living in the woods and having trees fall all around. And so I was like, well, I don't want to live where there's hurricanes. And that's like the whole, nice part of the East Coast. And
yeah, so we'll be looking for somewhere warmer and maybe with a little bit more rainfall.
Yeah. And I don't really know. So we have to visit these places for a couple weeks at a time to get a really good feel for the area. It's also being spoiled with the Army. I got to live where we traveled. And so I'm like, I don't even know really how to experience a place in a short period of time that would make me know what it's like to live there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you'd have to find somebody else to kind of
in the area.
Yeah, to help you out with that.
That makes sense.
And then another thing would be just doing not the touristy stuff, which you and I are pretty good at anyway when we do travel.
Yeah. Sometimes we like to do the silly stuff.
But we wouldn't be moving into the middle of a city. I don't think either one of us are interested.
But I would want to be within an hour.
Yeah.
Of a decently sized city, because I miss Portland because I'm actually from the Portland-ish area. I lived in Portland, Oregon, and around Portland for most of my life. I miss the art scene. There's not really a big one out here in Bend. It's more handcrafted art and more into
photography, painting,
drawing art.
I don't know what they call that, but
traditional medias. I don't know, but I like doing it digitally. But there's different vibe for both of them. So you change your name to Liquid Starlight. Does your dad know you're on here? Though, Mia?
Sounds good.
I can call your mother, make sure. But yeah, so I don't know. I have a friend who lives in Hawaii, and I'd like to experience there. I'd like to see what it's like there anyway. She has 5 acres, I think, and she has donkeys and goats, and she does a lot of gardening, and she has parrots. But so she kind of makes it look a little more dreamy than I imagine. I've been doing some research, and it kind of seems iffy. There's a lot of theft that happens there. And then also, the molten magma, that's also a thing. And but I'd like to see what it's like there from an insider perspective, living there. I'd like to visit Texas. I don't know if I would want to live there. I'd like to see what it's like.
Texas is huge. I think it would just depend on where.
Well, it would have to be close to one of the bigger cities. I hear Austin is actually pretty cool for a city.
Like Austin or Fort Worth area or something.
But also I hear Fort Worth sucks. But I don't know. We don't really have we definitely know we just need a little bit warmer. I need a little bit warmer. I don't know if Dan realizes he needs it.
Yeah.
If we don't plan on staying there for a long evaluation, I don't know. Don't want to. Well, actually, if we did, we'd get it returned. We'd get a return back on the greenhouse, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not worried about,
because whoever, if we sell this property, whoever's buying it is also going to be a homesteadery, because that's just what kind of property it is. It's a horse property.
Yeah, they're either going to be into horses and just wanting to ride through the grasslands, or they're going to want to do their own farming stuff. I mean, we're out far enough you can't get a pizza delivered, so the average, we get mail delivered 3 days a week. The average person is not interested in living that way.
Right. Tomatoes grew in the greenhouse, did great. Ones outside didn't. My tomatoes last year did excellent, I think.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And they were outside.
I still kind of want to try that straw bale gardening thing.
We'll get some straw bales.
Maybe. They were hard to find last year. We'll see.
That would be on you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be my garden. There are a lot of places that are just nice to visit and not live. Yeah, I just wouldn't know. Like, I mean, the only time I've basically been out of Oregon, except for outside the country, so within the U.S., was when we were flying back from Germany. and we stopped at, like, Minnesota and one other place.
And you went to Washington once, didn't you?
When I was a kid.
No, when your cousin got married or something.
Oh, that was, yeah, but we just went to Cooley Dam. Which is like, I don't feel like I got to experience. It actually is a lot like this area, but yeah, so I don't really know. Oh, good. I'm glad your mom knows. Thank you for double checking and let me know if you're lying. I don't.
North Carolina. Been to South
I'd
Carolina.
like to visit the Carolinas. I have some friends in Carolinas, and it seems like a really nice area.
I've driven through. I haven't.
Well, you went. Isn't Newport News in?
No, it's in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
But I did drive through because I went from Virginia down to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really stop for very long.
So I hear it's very nice. It would be the complete opposite. Like, I would prefer to live in another country than the complete opposite of the U.S. from my family. Like,
more exotic, higher chance they'll visit at least once.
Yeah. I have family who's never visited, and they only live 4 hours away. But yeah, just because it would make more sense that they don't come if I'm, in another country. But I miss Germany a lot. I felt so. Reason why we didn't go back to the west side of the Cascades in Oregon is because I deal with some seasonal depression, and the rain makes it very hard now. But I kind of like, I would really like to live there again because it's easy to grow. Like, you throw a seed down and you're growing something. Like,
you can find some South Slope or something.
Like, you're growing something, and so. I mean, they have inherently their own issues with how wet it is, but also it's like, maybe I could deal with it better as a grown up. I didn't have a huge problem as a child, but I don't know. It's just, I like the sun. So that's why we moved over here. So we just don't know. I don't know how it would be, to be honest. I like.
The water tastes funny over there. I don't know.
That is true. The water does taste weird over there. Like, we bring our own water when we travel to the west side. Like, we're officially water snobs. And yeah, I don't know. I miss it over there a little bit. Only because there's Ben just made a really weird face. So I was like, only because there's, I don't know, just a little bit more for me over there. Go to a locals cafe and listen to the gossiping. I'm not, I wouldn't care.
When we moved out here.
Bye, Mia.
We started our own gossip and then started getting people into, made up a whole story about the Ochiko Bandit, and then people started believing it.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that thing really happened. There's gold out there.
Yes. The cost of living in Hawaii is expensive, but I mean, there's, you live in a place where you hardly have to wear a coat and deal with that. I know it actually doesn't seem much more expensive than here. I haven't like done a huge amount of digging on it, but it doesn't seem like the worst.
Hawaii is one state I've never been to. Can't speak to it.
Yeah, we'll have to visit for sure. Yeah, my bees would work year round. I would never have a break from beekeeping. But I hear the bees are great in Hawaii. Yes, that's what I hear about Austin too. This off-grid life would move to Arizona in a heartbeat, but borders and such. I don't think it's that big of an issue. A lot of people live there. DFW.
Dallas Fort Worth area.
Oh, golly.
Something about that.
Sorry, it scrolled. Is not where I would move. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Again, we won't move in the city anywhere. It's just where's your biggest metroplex?
Oh, we were just talking about off-grid life. That we're not sure if this is our final destination. Like, it's hard. Life is hard out here as far as growing stuff because we're in the desert and we have a very short growing season. And it would be nice to be able to grow different things and for a little bit longer.
Might be a little bit easier if we had a little bit more rain. And
I don't think negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit is necessary in my life. Like, that's cold. Like, I don't think I need that temperature. Oh, excuse me, so sorry. Love seasonal changes. I would miss having the leaves change, the winter snow, and some summer heat. Yeah, everybody's different.
You know, the other thing is you can always visit.
Yeah.
I kind of like having 4 seasons too, but if we move someplace that still has mountains.
There is mountains in Hawaii with snow on it. They have all the seasons. You just have to go onto the mountain for it.
Keep pushing Hawaii. We'll find out what happens.
What?
No, it's just like,
I'm just saying they do. I asked. I looked into it. Jim and Jessica. I don't know who that is. Hello, Robertson's Bellyacres. Those are Rusty and Rachel. They're awesome. I like Asheville, North Carolina, but it can get cold there. Yeah, but how cold is cold? Because here, negative 15 is cold. Upstate South Carolina. Start thinking Costa Rica, 120 degrees. No, thanks. I experienced 115. We experienced 115 degrees this year here, which is not typical. Usually like 105 for a day, maybe. This year we had multiple days over 100 degrees.
I would think Costa Rica has high humidity.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, for sure. So does Hawaii, though.
Probably gorgeous, though.
I would want to visit Green Dream. My mom lives in New Mexico, so I was thinking next time I go visit. Good. Right on. Reading the chat. Sorry, it keeps jumping around. So annoying. Bull Run water tastes so good compared to many places I've ever been in the U.S. Well, you gotta come visit. Because I think Welch's is Bull Run also.
Are you talking about the watershed that was outside of Sandy? I thought they got rid of that reservoir.
Well, it's not just a reservoir. It's a water, like the watershed is a giant area, not just a reservoir. But I think, yeah.
Me and Ochiko Bandit t-shirt. Maybe another time I'll come on and tell the legend of Ochiko Bandit how it actually got started.
The fake legend. Hi, Joy Bless Life. Parents had land in Arizona when you were a kid. The plan was to move. Obviously, we stayed here in Canada. Yeah, negative 15 is no joke. It's freaking cold. True, they have snow. We're Canadian, so it would take some time to move to the U.S. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Hawaii has a mountain with snow. Yes! See? Oh, okay. Green Dream Project, one's building their Heart Dome home. Right on. Yay! You're awesome, too. Hey, Brian from Castle Hives. I hope you're well. Not going to miss the mowing business this summer. Mid-August, 110 with a heat index of 115. Yeah. That's I forget, where do you guys live again? Golly, why can't I remember?
Early in the morning, pitter patter, get at her.
Is he real? Dan is the Ochako Bandit. But yeah, so do you guys have any leftover questions for Dan? We're probably going to wrap this up here soon. Earth Dome Home. Doggone spell check. Oh, yeah. I thought it was just in the shape of a heart. I don't know. Northeast Oklahoma. Okay. That's where they are. I don't know if I want to live in the center of the U.S. I don't. I kind of want to be close to the ocean-ish. It's more temperate, too. Because of the ocean. I think that's a hard part of, like, trying to think about of another destination. Is like, I kind of... So the ocean, like, makes my sides feel at home. And, I mean, it's kind of weird. I think it would be weird to live so far away from it, unless it was back in Germany. I'd give anything up. I don't care. So, yeah. Oh, here comes Benj again. But yeah, so leave this running for a couple minutes. Make sure you guys don't have any more questions because it's a little bit slow coming through. Benj.
See how long it takes before he scratches or bites me.
He doesn't do that very often. Hey, Pafford Homestead. Virginia has it all. Plains, mountain, and ocean. So does Oregon. And desert. And rainforest.
Yeah, but if you're in Virginia, then you can claim to be a Virginian, and you can't do that anywhere else.
I don't want to live by tornadoes. That sounds scary. I don't think I would get used to it.
I don't know. But we got tornadoes when I lived in Colorado. I was actually outside playing once as a kid, and a tornado went over this mountain that was my backyard and landed on the school about, I don't know, a mile away. Tore the roof off. Good times.
No, Dan refuses to live in Germany. He broke my heart. All right, then. Well, we're going to wrap this up. And I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. That's really amazing. I never thought anybody would care about what I shared here on YouTube. I'm so thankful for the people I've met. And I don't know if Dan's allowed back on my live streams. But it's been fun. And Dan appreciated you guys wanting him on the stream to get to know him, and he's a real boy.
I exist.
He exists, and he does all the real money making work, and I sit here and I play on YouTube and take care of the donkeys and Benjamin the cat, and I can occasionally do the dishes and the laundry. I think that's pretty accurate. And but yeah, so thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a really wonderful weekend. Thank you for coming. We are ending the broadcast.